Sometimes the most unlikely bond isn't forged in light, but in shared darkness. Lena Carter had never seen a sunrise, a smile, or even her own reflection born without sight. Her world was built on whispers, textures, the warmth of the sun on her skin, and the crushing weight of words like can't, won't, and shouldn't. Her parents, Mara and Thomas, had tried everything: orientation training, tech tools, mobility coaches, but none of it eased the deep, paralyzing dread that gripped Lena every time she stepped beyond her bedroom door, where everything had its place and silence meant safety. Outside, every footfall could be a misstep, every voice a possible threat, every open space a void waiting to swallow her whole. She stopped going to school clubs, stopped eating in the cafeteria, stopped believing she belonged anywhere but in the quiet corners of her own mind, until her counselor, Mrs. Ellis, pulled her parents aside one afternoon, her voice gentle but urgent. She needs something that's hers, something that builds confidence from the inside out. Have you ever heard of equine therapy? That evening, Mara stayed up late, searching online until she found Willow Ridge Adaptive Center, run by a woman named Evelyn Shaw, who answered the phone not with pity, but with calm certainty. Bring her. Let her meet the horses. No pressure. Just presence. The morning they arrived, Lena clung to her mother's arm like a lifeline, her cane tapping fast and frantic against the gravel path, heart pounding at the unfamiliar sounds, hooves shifting, leather creaking, horses blowing soft breaths into the cool air. Evelyn met them at the barn entrance, her voice steady as a lighthouse beam. The barn is ahead, smells like hay and warm oats. 12 horses today. Floors flat concrete. I'll describe everything, step by step. You tell me when you're ready. Lena nodded, throat tight, and followed the sound of Evelyn's voice past stalls and tack rooms, each description painting a mental map she could almost hold. Then, at the final stall, Evelyn's tone changed, softer, slower, almost reverent. This is Dusty, 16 years old, a gray mare. She came to us 3 months ago. She's blind. Lena froze. Blind? A horse blind? She'd never imagined animals could lose their sight, let alone survive it. Evelyn guided Lena's hand to the stall bar's cold metal, then warm breath rushing over her palm as Dusty leaned in, whiskers brushing her skin, muzzle gentle, searching. In that instant, something inside Lena cracked open, not with pain, but with recognition. This horse lives in my world, she thought. She moves without light. She trusts without seeing. She's afraid. And she's still here. Can I touch her? Lena whispered. Yes, Evelyn said, but let her find you first. And when Dusty rested her heavy head against Lena's shoulder, breathing slow and deep, Lena finally let the tears fall, not from sorrow, but from the staggering relief of being known not in spite of her blindness, but through it. For weeks, Lena returned 3 times a week, sometimes more, learning Dusty's body by touch, the ripple of muscle along her neck, the soft hollow behind her jaw, the smooth curve of her brow where sight had once lived. Dusty, in turn, learned Lena's footsteps, the pitch of her voice, the rhythm of her breathing, and would lift her head the second she heard the barn door open, nickering low and sweet, as if saying, "You're here. I knew you'd come." Evelyn watched them closely, marveling at how Lena moved around Dusty with calm certainty, no flinching, no hesitation, unlike the rigid fear she carried in the outside world. One afternoon, as Lena brushed Dusty's flank, Evelyn asked gently, Why aren't you afraid of her the way you are of everything else?" Lena paused, brush in hand, and answered without looking up. "Because she's afraid too. She's trying. Every day. Just like me." That was the day Evelyn asked, "Would you like to ride her?" Lena's pulse spiked a blind girl on a blind horse. It sounded impossible, reckless, beautiful. Her first attempt was shaky, gripping the saddle like it might vanish, shoulders locked, breath shallow. Dusty stood frozen, sensing the fear in every inch of Lena's body. They stayed like that, motionless, in the center of the arena, two souls suspended in shared uncertainty, until Evelyn's voice cut through. "She feels your fear, Lena. Breathe. Let her know you're safe. So she can be too." Lena exhaled long, slow, and felt Dusty shift beneath her, ears swiveling back, listening. "Good girl," Lena whispered, voice trembling but sure. "Let's walk." Just a few steps. She squeezed her legs lightly like a secret, and Dusty moved. 3 steps. Then 5. Then 10. Lena laughed a sound so bright it startled even her, and in that moment she wasn't trapped. She was flying. Over months, they built a language no eyes could see, Lena guiding with weight, pressure, tone. Dusty responding with trust, memory, and an uncanny sense of space. Evelyn walked beside them, calling turns and markers left in 3, 2, 1, and Lena translated those words into movement, Dusty arching into circles, halting square, trotting with smooth, even rhythm, all without a single visual cue. Lena began walking to school with her head higher, cane sweeping with purpose, even joining a study group, making a friend named Priya who asked about Dusty every day. Mara cried the first time Lena asked to take the bus downtown, just the two of them, no car, no safety net. "She's coming back to life," Mara whispered to Thomas one night, or maybe, just maybe, she's finally beginning it. 8 months in, Evelyn dropped a quiet bomb. There's a regional adaptive riding competition in 3 months. "I think you and Dusty should enter." Lena's stomach dropped. In front of judges, crowds, cameras. But then she remembered Dusty abandoned, deemed useless, nearly put down, and how she'd learned, step by trembling step, to believe again. If Dusty could be brave, so could she. Training intensified. Precise circles, serpentines, transitions, all drilled until muscle memory took over. A new volunteer, Javier, joined, skeptical at first, then awestruck. This isn't just riding. This is conversation. Pure, wordless understanding. The day of the competition dawned gray and drizzly. At the venue, noise crashed over Lena like a wave, hundreds of voices, horses stamping, loudspeakers crackling, and panic seized her. She sat in the truck, shaking, ready to quit, until she heard Dusty's loud, insistent whinny from the trailer, as if calling, "Where are you? I need you." Lena climbed in, and Dusty pressed her whole body against her, breathing deep, trembling slightly, but calming the second Lena wrapped her arms around her neck. "We're scared," Lena murmured into her mane. "But we're together, and that's enough." They warmed up, Dusty tense but obedient, Lena focused, grounded by the familiar rhythm of her horse's gait. When their turn came, the announcer's voice boomed. Next, Lena Carter, 14, blind since birth. Riding Dusty, a blind gray mare. Believed to be the first fully blind rider-horse pair in competition history. Applause rolled in. Not pity, but awe. The bell rang. Lena squeezed. Dusty walked forward. And for 4 flawless minutes, they danced, walking precise patterns, trotting circles so round they looked drawn with compasses, halting with military sharpness, even the free-walk Dusty moving freely on a loose rein, trusting Lena's voice alone to keep her safe. They didn't see the markers, the judges' pens, the crowd rising to their feet, but they felt the connection, the timing, the absolute certainty that they were one. When they saluted at centerline, the roar was deafening. Evelyn met them at the gate, voice thick. That was perfect. An hour later, Lena stood on the podium, gold medal cool and heavy in her hand, Dusty standing calmly beside her, warm and solid. As the announcer declared, first place Lena Carter and Dusty, with a score of 76.5%. A local reporter interviewed her afterward, and when asked what she wanted the world to know, Lena didn't hesitate. Blind doesn't mean broken. It means you learn to listen deeper, trust harder, love without needing to see the outline first. The story spread shared across forums, read aloud at schools, shown at conferences until Lena found herself, 2 years later, speaking at a national gathering, Dusty waiting patiently outside in the sunshine. People told me I'd never do anything important, she said into the mic, voice steady. They told Dusty she was beyond help. But here we are, not despite our blindness, but because of what it taught us, that real navigation isn't about eyes. It's about heart. It's about choosing, every single day, to believe in someone, even when you can't see them, especially when you can't see them. Afterward, a woman approached, tears streaming. My son is 7. Blind. I've been so afraid for his future. Lena took her hand. Tell him his blindness isn't a wall, it's a doorway. It teaches him to know people, not just look at them. To listen, not just hear. To trust, not just assume. That's not less. That's rare. That's powerful. Now, at 17, Lena studies psychology with a focus on sensory adaptation, still rides Dusty every Sunday, not for scores or ribbons, but for the quiet joy of movement, of partnership, of 2 beings who found each other when the world had written them both off. Evelyn often finds them in the same stall, Lena brushing, Dusty resting her head on the girl's shoulder, both breathing in sync, both utterly at peace. How do you explain it? Evelyn asked once. How do 2 blind souls move through the world so surely? Lena smiled, never stopping her strokes. We don't move in spite of the dark. We move through it, using everything sight overlooks, sound, touch, memory, love. Sight shows you the surface. We know the soul beneath. Dusty exhaled softly as if in agreement and leaned in deeper, and in that silent golden moment, no one needed eyes to see the truth. True ability isn't measured by what you can see, but by what you're willing to believe in, even when it's invisible to everyone else.